In this video we're going to be going over something called Pythagorean triples, and what that's referring to is a set of three numbers that fit the Pythagorean theorem, meaning from the theorem a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A Pythagorean triple is three numbers that fit this equation, that make this equation true. One of the simplest examples would be if a equals 3, b equals 4, and c equals 5. This is a Pythagorean triple because if I replaced a with 3 in this equation, and I replaced b with 4, and I replaced c, oh, I forgot that squared there, and if I replaced c with 5 squared, this equation is in fact true because 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and 5 squared equals 25, and 9 plus 16 does in fact equal 25. So since these three numbers make this equation true, they are called Pythagorean triples. And this is helpful in knowing that you can find out if any kind of triangle is a right-angled triangle, because the Pythagorean theorem is only true if we're dealing with a right-angled triangle. So if you were to test three numbers using this equation and you find out that the equation is not true, that would mean that you're dealing with a triangle that's not right-angled. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple examples. Okay, here is a triangle. Actually, no, what I'm going to give you is a list of three numbers, and they would represent three side lengths of the triangle. So let's say we had a triangle that had one side that was 9 centimeters long, another one that was 40 centimeters long, and the longest side being 41 centimeters long. So we need to find out if these numbers are Pythagorean triples, and if they are, that means that this triangle, if we drew it to scale, would be a right-angled triangle. Okay, so let's start off by writing out the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And let's label our numbers. I'm going to call this one a, this is our b, and this is our c. C should always be the longest side, by the way, the hypotenuse. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is rewrite this equation and replace the letters with these numbers. So a is equal to 9, b is equal to 40, and c is equal to 41. So now our job is to find out if this equation is in fact true. Is 9 squared plus 40 squared the same thing as 41 squared? So let's grab a calculator and try it out. So 9 squared I know is 81. 40 squared is equal to 1,600. And 41 squared is equal to 1,681. And if I were to add these two numbers together, I would get 1,681. And look at that, we've got the same number on both sides of the equation, so this is definitely correct. Therefore, these three numbers are in fact a Pythagorean triple. And if we were to draw a triangle with these dimensions, one that was a side length of 9, 40, and 41, this would have to be a right-angled triangle. Let's take a look at one more example. Let's say we have a triangle, and the side length A has a length of, let's say, 12 centimeters. Side B has a length of 16 centimeters, and side C has a length of 20 centimeters. Actually, sorry, let's make that 22. There we go. Okay, and so the question is, do these numbers form a Pythagorean triple? So we're going to start off by writing out the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And let's replace each of these letters with the numbers that we've been given. So a is equal to 12, so it'll be 12 squared there. B is equal to 16, so I'll put 16 there. And C is equal to 22, so I'll put 22 there. Alright, next up we're going to solve these squares. So 12 squared is equal to 144. 16 squared gets us 256. And 22 squared would be 484. So now we just need to add these two numbers and see if we get 484. So 144 plus 256 gets me 400. And is 400 the same thing as 484? Definitely not. So our conclusion here would be that these three numbers do not form a Pythagorean triple. And what that means is if we were to draw a triangle to scale here that had these dimensions, so we'd have one that's 22 centimeters long, one that's 16, and one that's 12. Our conclusion, since these do not form a Pythagorean triple, would be that this angle here is not 90 degrees. And that's it for this video. So just remember the proper steps when you need to do this. First, write out the Pythagorean theorem. Next, replace A, B, and C with the lengths that you're given, and then determine whether or not the equation is true or not.